The conflict in the Middle East is still raging on, and Democrats like Chuck Schumer are finally speaking out against Netanyahu, and it seems Republicans are more angry with him than they are with the ongoing genocide, because they don't want what the IDF is doing to stop, and they have the perfect scapegoat in removing Hamas, when in reality, I think removing Netanyahu gets you closer to peace faster, something Chuck Schumer correctly pointed out. Let's watch what he had to say that has Republicans so furious, and then we'll dive a little deeper into the numbers.
But in order to achieve a two-state solution, the reality is that things must change. Right now, there are four major obstacles standing in the way of two states. And until they are removed from the equation, there will never be peace in Israel and Gaza and the West Bank. The four major obstacles are Hamas and the Palestinians who support and tolerate their evil ways, radical right-wing Israelis in government and society, Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu.
So despite him mentioning Hamas and mentioning them first, just also attaching culpability to Israel and Netanyahu is too much for the far-right Zionists in our government. And by the way, Chuck Schumer is of Jewish descent. If anyone feels they have a place to weigh in their opinion on the matter, I think it's him. And despite that, Republicans from Mitch McConnell down to Byron Donalds, who have no place to weigh in their opinion, have came out swinging in defense of poor little genocidal Israel. Though notice they don't have the same rage about any of the atrocities that are going on during this conflict, where just under 32,000 people have died, over 13,000 children, and around 74,000 are injured, with over tens of thousands lost under rubble or being unable to be found, potentially adding more to this death toll. And settlers, meanwhile, are having their way in the West Bank. Since October 7th, settlers have built 15 outposts and 18 roads on illegally occupied land, which is illegal both under Israeli law and international law. However, Israel retroactively approves these outposts as settlements frequently, which they're never really punishing anyone. Why would they? That's their end goal anyway. And the UN has reported that since October 7th, there's been over 600 settler attacks against Palestinians, with over 1,200 from 19 different communities being displaced as a direct result from settler violence. And oftentimes, these attacks are carried out with military or Israel police aid. So it's not like they're acting on their own regards. On top of this, food insecurity has reached 100% of the population, which is the first time that something like this has been induced on an entire population, with 1 of 3 children under 2 years old being acutely malnourished, directly being made worse by the restriction of aid being allowed in from Israeli soldiers. We've talked about how they'll turn around the whole truck of aid with food and all these needed supplies for something as small as a kitchen knife being in them. Then it's just no aid. Well, just last month, over 100 Palestinians were killed trying to access these food trucks and get needed aid. And the UN has already came out to say that this probably constitutes a war crime in starving the entire population forcefully. And what do Republicans have to say about all this? Well, this is what they have to say.
I found Senator Schumer's comments to be disgusting and not appropriate for an American senator, the leader in the United States Senate, by the way, when our greatest ally in the region is at war with one of their great nemesis. We should be behind Israel every step of the way.
Now, remember, Chuck Schumer mentioned Hamas first as a core issue in stopping peace, but also mentioned the Palestinian Authority. But right-wing loons are upset at the mere mention of Netanyahu, and it's because they share this loser's worldview, that we should full stop be behind Israel no matter what. They want to starve children? Here, do it on the US taxpayer dollar. 30,000 dead civilians not enough? Here's a few extra bombs, a few extra billion. It's sick and gross. And while I support Israel existing and I understand its importance as the world leader on a global stage, we should be clearly defining the red line of where nations need to stop their atrocities. And I think Israel has long since crossed that line long ago. If you enjoyed this video, we're Social Society. We're a commentary channel influenced by politics, society, and the economy. We are pretty left-leaning on this channel, but we're open to our right-wingers as well. The biggest thing here is having conversations that get everyone to the bottom of the truth. If that sounds like something that could interest you, consider smashing that subscribe button, leaving us a like, or even commenting on this video. We even have memberships available as low as $3 if you'd like to support, because the only way we become a society is together. Peace.